Well, hey there, it's Mr. Spencer. We're going over the reading guide for chapters 61 onward. All right, now you can find all of this on the final reading guide assignment here. Okay, the final reading guide is for chapters 51 to 85, and that's what I see there. And we went through in the last videos all the way through the review, the magic of the number 3, and we did the letter writing exercise for chapter 60. All right, so now we're taking a look at the next part. All right, you've got your lessons here for this week as we go into week 6, and you'll see the teaching videos also linked here on their own folder, teaching videos. Okay, now I'm doing chapter 61 till the end of the book here. You have the plot summary. You can go through the plot summary there as you need it, but this is for chapter 61 to the end of the book. And Zeli is the narrator of chapter 61. The reading guide says fill in the blank, chapter 61. Okay, you've got to use your book to do these. Okay, so I'm around page 397. A horn blares, and a guard, the gang of royal guards surround the camp, yelling for them to give up Zeli and the scroll or die. Zu comes forward saying that they have neither of them, and they're simply gathered for a peaceful celebration. As she raises her hands in surrender, an arrow pierces her body, and the guards begin their attack. Okay, chapter 62, what's happened? Well, Amari is the narrator. Who is the chapter about? Well, it's about how Zane and Amari search in vain for Zeli, but they can't find her, and they both get very emotional and break down. Amari then tells Zane that the guards likely took Zeli to a nearby fortress, and Amari, strategic, has a plan to break in. Okay, chapter 63, we go back to Zeli. Did Anan betray Zeli? How do you know? Okay, Anan walks with guards at his side into Zeli's prison cell, but then Anan orders the guards to leave. When they do, his face immediately changes. He says the guards discovered the encampment when some diviners went to a nearby town to buy supplies, so he didn't betray her after all. Okay, he fooled the guards to get them on his side, but he's actually here to rescue Zeli. Okay, chapter 64, extra credit. You have the fill-in-the-blank notes, and the word was maggot. They torture Zeli. King Saren mocks his son, and they're carving the word maggot into Zeli's back as Anan watches. All right, chapter 65, Amari. Critical thinking. Okay, you got to think about this. Are chapters 62 to 65 part of the rising action of the plot, or are they part of a climax or the most intense moment of the book? Explain why. Okay, your teacher here thinks that, all right, while there's many dramatic and high-stakes moments through these last couple scenes, these moments continue building intensity, presumably until the upcoming climax where Anan and Amari, maybe both of them, must directly confront or defeat their father, King Saren. The whole book has been building to that confrontation. So I would say that would be the climax at the top there. Okay, chapter 31, connect this. How does the theme statement that Anan learned to put his duty before self apply to these last few chapters? Anan sees his new girlfriend Zeli being tortured by his powerful father. Does he continue to put his duty to the kingdom in front of his feelings for Zeli, the victim? Is he going to support his father, or does he want to support and rescue Zeli? Duty before self, that's what his father's always taught him. Okay, chapter 66 to 67, we have the summary notes. They're on the reading guide. Okay, they're very similar to the same ones that I go over here on the plot summary document, which we've uploaded to its learning. Okay, so now back to the reading guide. You got a question for chapter 68. We have some of the summary notes. Okay, and who is Amari reminded of with the venom in her voice on page 441 during her attempts to rescue Zeli? Well, a guard enters. Amari presses a blade to his neck, and she gets him to say where Zeli's cell is, but she's surprised by the venomous anger in her voice, and it reminds her only of her father, Saren. Amari remembers advice from Binta, number 33. What is that advice? Be brave, Amari. Number 34, fill in the blanks. On page 443, Amari thinks that she can avenge Binta now. And she thinks, I can cut father down. She thinks that while the Magi take out the guards, my sword can free father of his head. She's going to cut off the head of her father is what her plan is. Summary notes for chapter 69, and then chapter 70 to 73, you got some questions. Okay, but read the end of chapter 70 quietly to yourself. It gets a little weird. It's very weird. Number 35, the truth of Zélie predicament with conjuring magic on pages 450 to 451. Why does she think she is broken? She's lost the ability to conjure her magic. Somehow it's drained out of her. Number 36, in chapter 71, who is Connie? It's a large freckled magi girl that is a healer who stopped Zélie's bleeding. Number 37, how is Zélie's perspective of Amari changed by page 455? Well, Amari, her hair's down, but it's figuratively she's let her hair down, a little more free-spirited, and literally she's let her hair down. Zélie sees Amari as a confidant and friend, and if Amari pries and wants Zélie to open up, she will do it. Okay, in chapter 72, we learned about the land of Jamaica. What's unique about the land of Jamaica? It is a lawless land. Many criminals and outlaws live there. Okay, check your map on the inside the book cover, Jamaica. Page 463, who's the leader of the group Zélie needs to hire in order to get back to the island? Well, to get to that island, they're going to use the pickpocket, Rowan. He's the pickpocket she met back at the encampment many chapters ago. There's this picture I used on the reading guide. Why does Rowan tell Zélie that she's no fun on page 470? She orders him not to kill anyone while they're fighting to get to the island. Okay, chapter 74, summary notes for Anon. Very important stuff happening. He must choose Orisha over Zélie. Is he loyal to Zélie still, or is he keeping loyalty to his father, the king? Chapter 75, interpret this. Does Rowan believe in the gods like Zélie? Does he take them seriously? Why or why not? Rowan jokes a lot about being chosen by the gods, but he's clearly at least a little serious, believing in the gods even as he jokes about them. And like Zélie, Rowan finds that faith in the gods also brings him closer to others, giving him a sense of connection with other believers and prompting him to look for more meaning in chance encounters. Chapter 76, Amari. Amari combs Zélie's tangled hair in this chapter. They talk about their respective mothers, their memories of having their hair brushed as young children. Amari says that Zélie can tell her anything. So what does Zélie admit to Amari about herself now? Well, she used to think Amari was weak. She didn't understand how someone could wield a sword the way you do and still hold so much fear. Okay, chapter 77 to 80. Define interrogation. Means to ask questions of someone, especially a suspect or a prisoner, closely, aggressively, or formally. To interrogate. Okay, don't write it means to interrogate somebody. That doesn't make sense. What does interrogate mean? Okay. Damn. Now, number 44. What does King Saren do in chapter 78 to 79 that makes Zélie's heart stop? Well, she and her crew are ambushed. King Saren and Anon and their guards have been waiting for them, and King Saren and Anon have Baba. What's the exact moment or page number that's the most intense moment of the book precisely, in your opinion? Write your own opinion. Read page 500 very closely. I can't do it for you, but you got to use your own book. Chapter 81, we get some summary notes. Chapter 82 to 83, Amari's narration. Go back. What happens, though, to Anon on page 508? Well, Saren stabs his sword into Anon after seeing his son performing magic. Anon pleads with his father, thinking of all the pain he's caused in his father's name, and he can't let it all be for nothing. But Saren says that Anon is no son of his. Number 47, what does Amari say to her father, King Saren, about being a queen herself? Well, she stabs the sword into her father's chest, knowing that he doesn't care about killing his own children, Anon. And although tears fill her eyes, she knows she's done the right thing. She tells her father that this will make her a far stronger queen, echoing his old sayings. And then chapter 84 to 85, the end of the book. Which of the gods is the first to respond when Zélie starts chanting number 48? It's Yamoa. Yamoa's statue glows first. Number 49, how does Zélie activate the blood magic? She uses the bone dagger to slice through both of her palms. Then she calls for help from her ancestors, number 49. And number 50, what's the truth that Zélie can now see at the end of chapter 84? We are all children of blood and bone. She sees the truth, and her vision shows that we are all instruments of vengeance and virtue, which is the name used in the sequel of the book. Read the end of the book, and then we'll talk about your final project. Okay? If you got any questions, let me know. Rewind the video if you need to. This is Mr. Spencer, signing off.